Please turn to page 264 for Stage 8 opinion writing. At this stage, your students will write essays for their opinions. The skills learned at Stage 7 are critical for students to begin their work at Stage 8. At Stage 7, the students learned SO Team, a 2-paragraph opinion in which the S was a summary, an O was the opinion, and that was the first paragraph. And the second paragraph was team. T is for transition, E is evidence, evidence to back up your opinion. A is analyze the evidence, explain how that evidence supports your opinion. And M is make it matter. Connect this back to the real world. Explain why this can matter to you personally, the world, society, how it could change people's point of view or cause some sort of an emotional reaction. Those are the elements of Stage 7. And because an opinion requires so many different elements and deep levels of thinking, Stage 7 provided that. We began first with just forming opinions orally, not even writing them down in Stage 7. Then we moved in Stage 7 to recording the information on the SO Team organizer and writing out a 2-paragraph opinion. As we enter Stage 8, your students need to have the SO Team skills under their belt. Stage 7 built the SO Team skills. Stage 8 expands them into essay writing. At this stage, we will have now an introduction, a body, and a conclusion. On page 264, I have my chant displayed for the students to see so they can follow along. Let's learn about what an opinion is at Stage 8. The opinion has an introduction, a body, and a conclusion. Look at that. We have our introduction, body, and conclusion. We already know that. We've been writing essays before that had introductions, bodies, and conclusions. We know this organizer. Excellent. So this is something we already know. Let's look further in the introduction, the body, and conclusion to see what else we know and what's new. Let's go to the introduction first. Introduction. Be polite. Give a summary of the text or topic. Oh, wait a minute. We've done this. Be polite. That's the S in SO Team. When we're summarizing a story or we're summarizing giving the background of a topic that led us to the opinion. We already know this part. So we have our S in our introduction and we already know the S from our SO Team. This is great. We already know how to do this. Let's go to the next part of our introduction. The opinion has an introduction, a body, and a conclusion. In the introduction, be polite. Give a summary of the text or of the topic. Then introduce the thesis statement. That's your opinion. Oh, so that's the O in SO Team. Our thesis statement, which is what the entire paper is about, is our opinion. This is easy. So far, we know how to do Stage 8. We know the S and O, and that's going to be its own paragraph. Once I give my opinion in the introduction, I go to the body, where I call in the team to back me up. We already know team. We learned that from Stage 7. But now we can have more than one team. We're going to make more lines. We could have 1, 2, 3 teams in the body. We have our introduction, summary, give our opinion, we already know that. Body, call in the team to back us up, but we could have anywhere from 1 to 3 teams. Oh, so we're adding more teams. That's what's making this a Stage 8. Finally, this is what we didn't have in our Stage 7, and that is the conclusion. Repeat your opinion, but use different words, then end it with a reflection. So our snap is a reflection. Okay, so in our conclusion, we're going to have our conclusion statement and then end with a reflection. That's what's new. So when we repeat that opinion, we're just trying to figure out how to say it in different words. We've done that before when we wrote information. Okay, we know that. And then the reflection, that's different than make it matter. The reflection is when we go back and look at the entire essay and the text or the entire topic, and we reflect back on that. So we're looking at the entire essay, not just a piece of evidence. So there's our Stage 8 for our opinion. Let's say the entire chant. Ready? The opinion has an introduction, a body, and a conclusion. In the introduction, be polite. Summarize the text or the topic. Then introduce the thesis statement. That's my opinion. After my introduction is the body, where I call in the team to back me up. And I can have more than one team, so I can call in teams to back me up. And then finally, conclusion, repeat my opinion, but use different words and end it with a reflection. We introduce our chant, and at the same time, we're showing children what they know, what they already have learned from stage 7, and what they're going to add to make the stage 8 essay. Let's go to the next page so I can show you our steps and our organizer. On page 265, you have directions. This is your direction sheet that you can follow along using these steps so that they have all the elements when they're planning their opinions. This direction sheet is for both types of opinions, whether you are going to have an opinion about a text or a topic. And when we're talking about a text, that could be literature or information, any type of text that your students are reading. And then they are going to have an opinion about that specific text. Or they can have an opinion about a topic. And a topic is anything in the world, which means that your students will look at multiple pieces of information from which they will form an opinion about a topic. And what lends itself really well for a topic are any of your core subjects, just like a text lends itself for any of your core subjects. So if I'm reading in language arts a novel, I may have an opinion about that specific text, or if I'm reading a short story. If I'm reading an article in science or social studies, I may have an opinion about that text. That's where I could integrate my opinion using an opinion about a text. When you're having an opinion about a topic is when you can go into your core subjects and actually have an opinion about what you're learning, as long as you know the information. I also suggest you generate a prompt so that they learn how to read prompts and from the prompt write an essay. What do the kids do when they're planning their essay? They follow the directions on their direction sheet. So this is what you're teaching them, how to plan their essay using the direction sheet. Notice next to that is a sample organizer with our 1, 2, 3, 4 lines. S-O, there's the summary of the book or topic. O, there's the opinion. So that's our introduction. Notice in the body, we have all of our teams. And in the conclusion, we have our conclusion statement and a reflection. Below here, it says 3 paragraphs, 4 paragraphs, and 5 paragraphs. That's because you can differentiate instruction or slowly build the number of paragraphs students have in their opinions. And that's by using the number of teams that you have in the body. Notice in this 3 paragraph, the students would have an introduction, body, and conclusion, but only 1 team. As you go to the 4 paragraphs, they would have 2 teams. And finally, the 5 paragraph, they would have 3 teams in their essay. This allows you to slowly build the students' endurance and ability to expand their essays, adding more teams, as well as differentiated instruction. You may have some students that are at the 5, some at the 4, and some at the 3 paragraph level when they're writing stage 8 opinion essays. On page 266 is the direction sheet for the essay, in which students will follow the steps to write the introduction, the body, and the conclusion. In the introduction, notice we have our summary. We would be polite and we have to ask, is our introduction about a topic or text? If it's about a text, then we need a quick summary of that text. If it is about a topic, then we need a hook plus the background that leads to your opinion about that topic. Then we state our opinion. Once we have our introduction, where we have our summary and our opinion, then we go to the body. Notice we have the team here, and we have the team listed out with all the parts, and you could have 1 to 3 body paragraphs of teams that support that opinion. And finally, we have our conclusion, where we'll repeat the opinion using different words, and a reflection. What the text or topic made you think, feel, or wish, and that means the entire text or topic. So we have all the elements and the steps here that we'll follow to fill out our organizer. On page 167 is a black line master of the 5 paragraph opinion essay for stage 8. This is here for students that need to fill in an organizer. Sometimes when we first begin our lessons teaching students all these elements, it's helpful to give them an organizer to fill in. I highly suggest that you quickly switch to students making their own organizers. That is easily done where they're drawing 1, 2, 3, 4 lines for their introduction, their body, and conclusion. The so for their introduction, they'll have their teams in the body, and their conclusion and reflection in the conclusion of the essay. This is a quick organizer for students to make, and also when they make their own organizers, they truly are independently writing their own essays. If you have to give them a black line master, then they are always relying on you. And the goal is for your students to independently write these opinions on their own after many lessons in which you help them understand how to fill in and make their organizer and plan all the information. Once they have those elements down, then you should expect them to write their own opinions using this process. That's the overview for our Stage 8 essay. And I leave you with the emphasis that Stage 7 was critical for Stage 8 to be successful. In the next 2 videos, I will walk you through 2 different essays, one in which we will have an opinion about a text, and the second one will be an opinion about a topic. Please follow along in the next 2 videos so you can see how to teach your children to plan, rehearse, and finally write out an opinion essay at Stage 8 for a topic or for a text.